All right. Hey, good morning, good afternoon. How's everyone doing? It's your boy JC, Everyday Thoughts. Everybody gather around. Should be a good one today. Special life coach, motivational speaker, man of God, husband, and a brand new father. So congrats to my wife and I. Today I have a guest with me, Shay. He kindly wants to take the stage. So I'm talking about the Michael B Jordan situation, the breakup, what are my thoughts about the situation? What's her thoughts about the situation? And I can lead it off for my situation. My thought about the situation. I think they really was evenly yoked. I mean, they really was on the same wavelength. He wanted to settle down, get married at 35. He still wants to play the field. She still wants to have fun, enjoy life, which is nothing wrong with that. But they're not on the same page, the same wavelength. So it just feels best that they just split. They just go their separate ways. But what are your thoughts about the situation?
Um, First of all, social media is a hoot. Okay. Social media has created all of these nuances as to why they broke up because, Michael B seems like such a nice guy and he seems so great. And, his persona is this and that. Um, as a almost 35-year-old at 25, I think she's doing fine. I think she's doing fine. I think she's not doing anything different than what normal 25-year-olds do. Now, she did the daddy and the son thing. I'm not a fan of that. Diddy and was it Justin or Diddy and Quincy? What Diddy and one of his sons.
Yeah.
I'm definitely not a fan of that type of behavior, but who am I to condemn anybody? I'm not anybody to condemn anybody. But I do believe in not wasting someone's time, but also being very upfront with whoever it is that you're dating to let them know where it is you are mentally, emotionally, spiritually, so that you don't go into it with the intention of, what, I'm just casually dating, and they're going into it with the intention of marriage. And that's where I think a lot of the problem comes in for people who are dating. Do they have those conversations early on to ask, like, okay, well, why are you here? What is it that you're wanting? What are your goals and all of that kind of stuff? And I have no problem with her walking away if that's not what she wanted. I do have a problem with her walking away if she stated that she was marriage minded and gave him any kind of inkling that they were going to be together long term. And then she just wakes up today and says, I changed my mind. That's jacked up.
Yeah, most definitely. I feel like, just be honest, have integrity both ends. I know I've seen a lot of posts on Facebook, men do this all the time. They like to sell women a dream,
Right.
marriage, kids, the whole 9 yards. But like I said, you just have to be upfront. You got to be honest and just have integrity. And like I said, you got to be on the same wavelength. And also too, like I said, a lot of people they were slandering Lori, talking about, oh, she's for the street because she dated, Future, and she had a whole bunch of guys who she dated in her past. But my thing is, it's like a double standard when it comes down to men and women. It's like women, y'all can't really have no kind of past, but men, they can, be around, sleep with a whole bunch of women. It's like nobody really points an eye. But if a woman go out there and sleep around, have fun, do what you do in your early 20s, mid 20s. Everybody want to get all mad and upset with her, but nobody really looks at the guy, who doesn't want to settle down at 35, 40, 50, 60 years old. So it's a double standard. I mean, me personally, I feel like like I said, they're not on the same wavelength, same age difference. I feel like if he's ready to settle down, he's ready to settle down. But it doesn't mean that because the man he's ready to settle down that you have to force yourself to marry him. Then you're just gonna be marrying him just to say, oh, I'm married.
Right.
It's not gonna be okay because I cherish him, I love him, and I love the family. I feel like we're one. I feel like God brought us together. It's just gonna be okay. Well, I'm gonna get married. Get the ring. I'm gonna get a car. I'm gonna get the title of marriage, but I'm not gonna really be marriage. I'm not gonna have the commitment or the duties of marriage, of being a wife, being a husband. So I mean, like I said, they got it out situation pretty good. It's not like she's pregnant. It's not like they, what I'm saying, they got pregnant. It's not like that.
Yep.
So they can kind of walk away and like, okay, well, they didn't work stuff out. Best of luck to both parties to see. Let's just wish for the best for both parties to see what direction they want to be in.
I totally agree. There was a post that was on Facebook, and I made that same comment of at least she's not having multiple babies by multiple men to then be a single parent household. And obviously, there's plenty of families and plenty of women specifically who are like that for various reasons. They could have been married to people, they could have been in long-term relationships with people, and babies came out of it. So not excluding those that demographic, but at least she is not pulling a female Nick Cannon around here where she's getting babies and then it ends up being the load is on her. It is kind of, I often kind of do wonder what Steve says, because she's literally, it's almost kind of like she's testing what he's always talked about.
Yeah.
It's a fun, it's like an oxymoron. He says he's been preaching this thing for the last, since Act Like a Lady came out, was that 10, God knows how many years ago?
Yeah.
And then she's pretty much was like, you know what? Hold up, Dad. I'm gonna test you out. I'm gonna show you up. So it's kind of funny, and I would love to hear what those conversations are like, if he has them with her, if he's talked to her about any of her behavior or her dating life or anything like that. But no, I honestly don't think she's doing anything wrong. Women, I grew up in church and I'm still in church. So I have learned to be an advocate of just kind of keep yourself to yourself. Less things for people to say about you, and you are not spreading yourself all over the place especially because of the fact that there is a double standard. Like you said, women do not get the same clout like men do. She sleeps with a handful of guys, she's a hoe. He sleeps with 20, he's the man. And as much as people say or don't really care about body count nowadays, which, if it happened before, it happened in the past, it's not really your business as long as that person is sexually healthy and all that kind of stuff. But there is a spiritual connotation to that. And that's the part I think that people negate and that they forget about. Sex is also as much spiritual as it is physical. And I know that's a whole deep and another conversation for another day. But for Lori, I'd rather her walk away than commit, get married, and have 2 babies and be like, I didn't want to be here in the first place.
Yeah, most definitely. You wanna get out soon. A year is enough time to know.
Right.
Hey, it's like a year we've been dating. We're kind of testing where we're at right now. You want to continue. It's kind of like you're going to a job. They kind of
Have your evaluation.
Evaluation, trying to see, okay, hey, this first year, the first 3 months, first 90 days, 60 months, a quarter. Okay, where are you at? You know what I'm saying? So that's all you have to see when dealing with a relationship. My whole thing is, like I said, like 2 years. I feel like maximum man knows. But like I said, if you go into it a year into it, you guys can come to the table like, hey, I don't feel like we're getting where we need to be at. I feel like it's best for us to part ways. And I can respect that. You know what I'm saying? It's a mutual decision. Y'all may love each other, may care for each other, but I don't feel like it's best suited for each other. Your lifestyle may be different.
Right.
And I can respect that. I respect that. And you guys move on. Like I said, you don't have any children together. Like I said, you guys move on, be free. But my only thing is like just being a serial dater, like, you continue just to date after date after day. I'm not really for all that, but to each his own. I feel like you got to have time to heal, have time to,
right,
really define yourself. A lot of times you get a relationship and your whole identity becomes of the other person, the other half. You really don't know who you are. So, and nothing wrong with taking 3 years, not 3 years, but 3 months, a year, even 2 years, just to know yourself, find yourself, your life, dislikes. Because there's a lot coming at you in your 20s, just people, you may be, out your mom's house. That might be new for you, have roommates,
right,
paying your own bills, have living in your own apartment. Like everything might just be new to you. And it's just like maybe a relationship might be too much for you. And I think a lot of people, they don't really consider that. They just like, okay, let me just jump for this guy, that guy, or that woman, that one. Like, no, you have to take time to get yourself healed, get yourself therapy, get yourself the process needed so you can be healthy enough to contribute to a healthy relationship, not just be on the not just be a bystander or
right.
add to the next partner.
I think that's important what you said about it's almost like a self-evaluation or a relationship evaluation at particular marks, 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, 12 months. Okay, let's do a check-in. How are we doing? How's communication? How are our goals? Is this still what it is that both of us want to do? Do we still want to pursue each other? Do we still feel like we're on the same page? What differences have evolved? What characteristics have evolved? What are some parts of that person that you see changing, because they're going to change, that you don't like? What are some things that you see an improvement in? You know, what type of goal timeline do y'all have? Are you guys starting to really have conversations of the future and seeing each other together? Because I do think the conversations in your 20s are very, very different from the conversations in your 30s when you're dating. The things that I ask now, I wasn't thinking about in my 20s. It was, I wasn't thinking about it. I wasn't asking you what your childhood traumas or what your relationship with your parents was. Yeah. I ask them now though, yeah, because it plays a major role in how it is that you view relationships, how you view women, how you treat them, how you treat people around you. Are you kind? Are you kind to servants as well, like waiters, waitresses, janitors? Like, are you mean? Are you nasty? Are you manipulative? And these are characteristics that, after the 90-day representative is gone, these are things that you're able to see along the line. And I think that dating is fine as long as you are upfront, or serial dating is fine as long as you are upfront with the person that you are dating. If you are being manipulative, omitting your true desires just because you're trying to get something from them, that's where you're wrong.
Oh yeah, well, definitely. You gotta have honor, integrity.
Right.
So you're trying to get something from somebody. I mean, that ain't a good way. It's not a good look. I said, I think earlier today, I was like, hey, just be honest. You don't need to lie about you just want sex. I mean, there's too many people that will give us.
You're too old for that now.
You're too old for all that. I mean, I'm saying, like, just be honest up front. I'm not got time to wasting people's lives and stuff. There's so much going on in the world with COVID. I mean, people living their lives, right. It's just crazy to keep trying to lie. It's just, you don't know you're gonna wake up next morning. So it's just, embrace your loved ones, embrace everybody, have peace. And that's how people I try to be around. I don't want to try to be around drama and all that back and forth arguing, slamming the door on each other's face. I just ain't for all that. Like I said, I just want to be at peace. That's my core values. But like I said, everybody's, core values are different. Everybody, lifestyle is different, but you got to see what works for you.
Right. I agree. A whole lot of communication has to happen, and effective communication is that. Yeah. Make sure that what you're saying is what's being received at the same time, because people depend on if they're in their feelings, or maybe they just don't have an understanding of what it is that you want, what it is that you're looking for. Make sure that they understand, hey, I'm not looking for anything serious, so we can do this tango as long as you know that I'm not here for the long term. Or yeah, I'm dating. I'm open to a long-term relationship, but I'm just right now, I just kind of want to see where it goes. And if you are not the type of person that wants to be with somebody who wants to see where it goes, you don't need to be engaging with that person in any way, shape, or form, because you're just going to set yourself up for the okie doke.
Yeah, most definitely. And like I said, I always look at it like a business, job. You may want the job, but it may not fit your needs, or it may make you work overnights or early mornings. So it has to benefit you and has to benefit the company. So that's be a win-win on both situations.
That I agree with you. And, it's funny, people don't like it when people say, I have come across some people who don't like it when people make the analogy that marriage is a business merger. It's a business merger.
I mean,
credit score and all.
I mean, it's a lot to marriage that you really have to dig deep into. I mean, finances, communication, y'all want children, lifestyle, parents, in-laws. I mean, it's so much that people don't really think about when you actually in a marriage. You have kids, and you're dealing with in-laws. They get along with you, you get along with them. So there's a lot to go into marriage. So like I said, anybody, like I said, me just, being almost 2 years married, I mean, it's like, you say I do, that's it. You got to honor your vows, honor your spouse. Hey, it means something. Well, it means something to me. So
Right.
I really mean it. You really have to fight for it for what you guys want. I mean, I know for my wife and I, like I said, we wanted a child, got a daughter. So, it's working. It's working so well. So far, so good. So we keep praying about it and keep trying to move forward. I'm cool with our, grand in-laws, like best friends. So we're the close, tight, and so we just have good communication.
Right.
Yeah, just keep working at it each and every day. It's never ending grind. You know, I always have to keep trying to reinvent the wheel.
I agree. I'm not married, never been married, but I hear, I hear the same thing. It doesn't stop. The work doesn't stop.
Yeah, you gotta continue to date.
It gets more intense after you actually say I do, because you have to be intentional.
Yeah, y'all, it's just y'all two. Not like anybody else. Everybody closed off. It's just y'all two. So you just gotta be mindful of that as well too.
I agree.
But yeah, anything else you'd like to share?
Y'all, if y'all are dating, make sure you are emotionally healthy, spiritually healthy, physically healthy, mentally healthy, and that you know what it is that you're looking for, that you know what it is that you want, and communicate that straightforward. We are way too old to be hiding behind any kind of facade or a 90-day representative because we don't know if this person is going to like it. Doesn't matter. Pray about it. I'm a person of prayer and I'm a person of faith. God, if this person is supposed to be here, please remove them. And I do that for male and female connections. If I feel like a girl is trying to come into my little bubble and she's trying to make a friend, okay, God, if she's not supposed to be here, remove her. Don't let her be able to take root. I say the same thing with men. If he's not supposed to be here, if he's not the person that you have created and evolved and worked on for me to be with, then please remove them. Do not let them take root in me and them. And you might have a better chance of just being able to discern who's supposed to be around you, and life will just be a little bit less stressful.
Yeah, and as far as the closing, as far as when we talked about knowing, as far as being a serial dater, like I said, my thing is you can date. Ain't nothing wrong with having dating around, but not everybody has to have your body. Everybody has to have your soul.
Right.
You can date. You can have meet and greets. You don't have to give somebody your body. You know what I'm saying? Not everybody should have that. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that should also be sacred, different. Not everybody. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
that's all I really have to say. I appreciate you joining me tonight. Taking time out your busy schedule. So I appreciate it.
No problem. You are welcome. Happy to have been asked to be here.
All right. You enjoy the rest of your evening.
All right. Thanks. Y'all, good night.